Okay. Good evening, Conservation Commission, and welcome to the Town of Douglas, February 3rd, 2025. This meeting is being recorded and broadcasted by local access programming and with remote participation available as provided on our agenda. Is there anyone here recording tonight's meeting? I hereby call the meeting to order at 6:30. Members in attendance, roll call, please.
Kate Thompson.
Mike Greco.
Josiah Birch.
And Jim Foran. Brendan Doyle is excused, and so is Brandon. They're excused tonight.
Mark Mundo, Chairman.
Oh, and Mark Menstrom. I forgot about him. No, I'm joking. So they're all excused for tonight. We'll move the meeting minutes to the end then.
If you'd like, I am ready to do the minutes if you want.
All right, we can do the minutes then.
Okay. The only edits I have are on page 1 of March 4th minutes. Macarius, I have the proper spelling of his last name. It's Mankaryous. Shows up a couple times throughout the document.
Which year?
March 4th,
Okay, thank you.
first paragraph, Macarius.
Fourth.
It shows up a couple times. I've corrected it throughout. Second paragraph, Rebecca Klaus, I think her last name is Cross, but I'll verify that.
Okay.
But I updated that throughout. And then third paragraph, Scott Shea, S-H-E-A, not S-H-A-Y. Correct throughout. And on page 2, Oak Street Solar, this would be the 132 timestamp. Lori Hout, her last name is H-O-U-T. Shows up a couple times throughout the document. And then on page 3, third sentence, also present is Mitchell Rausch. His last name is R-A-U-S-C-H. And that's corrected throughout the document as well. That is all I have on these. If anyone would like to make a motion to approve the March 4th minutes as amended?
So moved.
I
So moved.
go a second.
Second.
All right, so we will approve the March minutes for March 4th, 2024. Roll call.
Kate Thompson, aye.
Mike Greco, aye.
Josiah Birch, aye.
Jim Foran, aye.
As amended. Okay. The March 18th minutes on page 7. It's the 139:30 timestamp, no, items, sorry, page 2, item 7.
Okay. I was like,
Page 2, item 7. Margaret Braken stated that, I'm sorry, it's the second sentence under that, Rebecca, that's her last name again. Shows up a couple times. I think it should be Cross. I will verify that, but that is the only thing I see with this one. These ones are very well done.
someone want to make a motion?
Good for a
I'll
motion.
make a motion to
There you go.
approve the minutes.
Okay,
For March 18th as amended?
Yeah.
Second.
all right. So we'll approve Monday, March 18th, 2024, as amended. Roll call.
Kate Thompson, aye.
Mike Greco, aye.
Josiah Birch, aye.
Jim Foran, aye.
All right, so with the December 2nd minutes, the only correction I have is under new business, item 3. 7th sentence down, Patrick Engdahl, his last name is E-N-G-D-A-H-L. And that is all I have on these minutes.
Where is this?
First page, number 3. Right after the 2635 TS. 2 lines down, 3 lines down. Patrick Engel.
That's all I got there. That's it.
Someone want to make a motion?
Not sure where we are.
So moved.
You want
Can
to
I do
move
that?
to accept the
Amendments for,
minutes of Monday,
Monday.
December 2nd as amended? So moved.
So moved.
Second.
thank you. So, we'll approve for Monday, December 2nd with the amendments. Roll call.
Kate Thompson, I.
Mike Greco, aye.
Josiah Birch, aye.
Jim Farr and I. And December 16th.
I was almost done.
Okay.
Remember when?
Correspondence.
Ah,
I think we're good. This one's good as printed.
Okay.
So you're looking for a motion to approve the Monday, December 16th minutes as printed.
So moved.
Second.
All right. So we'll approve Monday, December 16th as is. Roll call, please.
Kate Thompson, I.
Mike Greco, aye.
Josiah Birch, aye.
Jim Farr. Aye. Okay.
Great, we are all cut up in minutes. Congratulations.
Yes, finally. Years later.
Right.
All right, so next up on our agenda is the 2024 draft annual report, possible votes. I know Mark wanted this just to be updated for us, right?
Yep, I updated the, well, the items that he asked me to, including the map with the parcel information. Thought he was pretty happy with that, so I think this is okay.
Okay.
A vote of acceptance of the 2024 annual report.
Yes.
That's to be moved.
Yeah, do we have any information on getting signage for these,
I think that's later in our agenda.
It
it's
is.
late, it's later?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think
Talk
we're,
about the
Kate's,
budget request.
yeah, and we'll
Here.
table that till Mark is here.
Yeah, those are
For
in
the
our,
next
those
one.
are later in the
Oh,
agenda.
about the,
Yeah.
Yeah,
about getting signs?
yep.
Because I went to the Cummings Court property. And I didn't know where the boundary was. I walked around, and I might have been on somebody else's property. I don't know, but and it looks like like part of it is in the river. I'm not even sure.
It's hard to tell.
Yeah. So, we might want to like mark the property a little better. Or who would be in charge of that? Marking the property.
I'd recommend you hold that thought till a little bit later
Till
in our
later?
agenda. We're just doing the report right now.
Okay, all
So
right.
we'll definitely talk about that in a little bit.
Yeah, it's nice to know we have these nice 10
Right?
pieces here,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So do we have a motion to approve the draft
So moved.
for the, oh, go ahead. No, go
So
ahead.
moved. With the with the. all
It's just the draft, yes, with the updated map on the second page
Yep.
for the 2024 annual town report.
Second.
All right, so we have a first by Katie, a second by Mike. Roll call.
Kate Thompson, I.
Mike Greco, aye.
Josiah Birch, aye.
Jim Farr, aye.
Okay.
All right, moving on to new business.
Yep. Public hearing. Do you want to
So-
read it off the agenda and then ask if they want to waive the reading?
Sure. So, public meeting request for determination of applicability for 55 Island Road, map 175, lot 15, tree removable. Does someone want to make a motion to waive the
Waive the reading of the public notice.
So moved.
Second?
All right. So Kate made the first one, Josiah seconded it. Roll call, please.
Kate Thompson, I.
Mike Greco, aye.
Josiah Birch, aye.
Jim Foran, aye.
Have a seat.
Do I have to, so it's open then, right?
Yeah, and you just say that the hearing is now open.
Oh, public hearing is now open.
Ask our applicant to introduce herself.
And can you just say your name and your address?
My name is Carol Gogolinsky, 55 Island Road, Douglas. I'm here because I have some very, very big trees that are leaning towards my bedroom. And so I called an arborist in, and he said, you better get them down before you sleep with them. So anyway, he marked them out, he made a report, and I think you have a copy of that report. And I'd like to get your permission to have them cut down.
I haven't joined the Zoom meeting yet, I'm getting to there, right?
Okay.
Still hung up with the minutes.
How many trees is it in total?
Oh, 12.
Oh,
Wow, some big
is he
trees.
8
Yeah, they
and
are
3?
Those are real big.
85.
85 feet high.
Wow.
Wow.
And you're just leaving the stumps?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not
They
big.
look pretty close to the house.
Yeah, they are. I had a friend that just had a big limb come down. It was only a limb, went through the roof, went through the ceiling, and impaled itself into a couch.
Oh, yeah.
So I visited the property last week with Carol, and she's already marked out the trees that are coming down. You can see them maxed out. There's a cluster here, and there's a small cluster on the other side. See these all marked off, all maxed out. There's some on this side here. 2, 3, 4. This side. 4, 5, 6, 7, and I think 9 is hiding in the back over here.
Okay.
And there are still trees left along the shoreline. But they're kind of leaning in the other direction, so, and they're not big like that, so I'm not concerned about them.
How far from the wetland or the,
They're within the 25 feet, but
okay.
as long as we leave the stumps, there's nowhere to disturb. I didn't see any issues with this. We have the arborist letter, so.
Yep.
I'd like to grind a few of them that are in the area where I walk, not big them up, just grind off the top of them. Would that be allowed? No,
Sure.
I'll leave it there.
Yeah.
Oh, it's okay? Okay.
Do you know which ones you want to do just the grind for?
Probably the ones that I'm looking in here, 'cause that's the area where I walk.
Towards the dock, right?
And I'm, I trip on my knees and feet as it is.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the
We need to ask for public comment?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
So,
I'm with you, though.
yeah, that's fine. Is there anyone in the public that would like to make a comment? On Zoom?
Call the hearing closed.
I will close the hearing. And then, did we want to just say which ones that she can grind or whatever?
I don't think there's issue with grinding, as long as they're not being removed.
Okay,
That'd
They
be our-
definitely
Yeah.
will not be removed.
okay, then that's fine.
Want to keep the roots there.
Just grind the top of it.
Okay,
That's your motion.
Okay,
so do I have a motion then? Go.
yeah, I'd like to make a motion to approve the tree cutting at 55 Island Road. as by the plan.
Okay.
The condition, they don't remove the stumps?
Yeah, right. And not to remove the
Not
stumps.
to dig out the stumps, right?
Yeah.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. So for, let's see, request for RDA for 55 Island Road, map 175, lot 15 for the tree removals, leaving the stumps and you can grind them. Roll call.
Kate Thompson, I.
Mike Greco, aye.
Josiah Birch, aye.
Jim Four and I.
And Carl, this should be ready for you tomorrow. Jen will let you know when it's ready.
Okay, all right. All set? Thank you.
You are all set. I have it right here. Yep. There you go.
Thank you.
So we are moving on to old business. The enforcement orders, no news, so.
We don't have any updates from DEP on that, despite numerous attempts by me and our conservation agent to reach out. We've received no response from DEP.
Okay,
I've informed the Lake Shore residents shortly before this meeting,
okay.
keeping them informed.
All right, so we'll just add it to next,
To March 3rd meeting.
to the March 3rd meeting.
It's probably going to be a big meeting.
Probably. All right, certificate of compliance and extensions. Number 5, which is request for certificate of compliance CP 143-1067 for Kathy Sergery Richards for 36 Maryland Drive, map 242, lot 3. Hello.
Hi,
Just your name and your address for the record, please.
Kathy Shaboo Richards, 36 Maryland Drive in Douglas.
All right, so we have an as-built plan for the barn, the back, and the gravel drive to get to it. Pictures up on the screen. Just kind of looking from the southeast up area, right? Kind of walk towards the back. The pictures from the corner, looking towards the barn. Really there, but it's not an issue. Okay, I just wanted to show that that's the wood chip area there. It's not sitting up there.
Okay.
Just heading towards the back part of the barn. And the northernmost corner, looking back at the barn and the house, and the horse pen area. So looking down the back. This is looking from the northwestern part of the, sorry, and the northern part, kind of looking back towards the property, I guess, towards the street. Kind of along that edge again. Oh, then I had a little visitor.
Beautiful.
Oh, horse said hi. So he gets his fame on video tonight. It's like, I don't know. It's pretty cool. Not every day the animal comes out to greet me when I'm doing the site walk. It's pretty fun. Anyway, look back. It's the gravel drive. Everything seems to be in order. And I'd recommend issuing a full certificate of compliance for this project.
Okay.
Had to get that in there.
Any comments? Questions? Someone want to make a motion? If,
I'll make a motion for the, accept the certificate of compliance at 36 Maryland Drive.
Second?
okay, so we have for Josiah and Mike doing a second for 36 Drive, map 242, lot 3, for a certificate of compliance, DP 143-1067.
Kate Thompson, I.
Mike Greco, aye.
Josiah Birch, aye.
Jim Farr, aye.
It should be ready to be picked up tomorrow. Jen will let you know when it's ready. All right? You're welcome. Take care.
Have a good night. Yep.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's all right.
Yeah.
That's it.
All right.
I'll be able to respond.
Okay. All right, next on our agenda, request for certificate of compliance for DP 143-573 for Adam Furno, 53 Southeast Main Street, map 214, lot 33.
So Mr. Furno's unable to be here tonight. I think he's worked like 72 hours straight in the last couple days. Our highway superintendent, as most of you all already know.
Yep.
This was an old DEP order of conditions for the construction of his home, and the certificate of compliance just kind of fell by the wayside. But what he's able to submit to us was his as-built plan for his septic design, which was approved by the Board of Health way back when this was 2004, right? So this was on record. And it's just a matter of procedure to close this out 20 years later. So I went out, took pictures, sure everything was as constructed, the gravel driveway on the right side of the house as shown on the plan. There's like a little T out here. It's not plowed, but it kind of comes out. Around. It's the cap for his septic. It's right in the front, or whatever that is. I forget what they're called. And there's the back. I found a well out there. And I took a picture of the fire hydrant, and he had a real funny story about it, but unfortunately he's unable to share it with us tonight. So this structure is new, but, you know, in 20 years, building a new structure is not entirely common.
That's just a fence too, so.
Right. Yeah, it's just like a privacy fence for like a little screened-in area or something. That's the last picture of the house. So in order to help get this closed out, I recommend a full certificate of compliance for 53 Southeast Main Street.
Yeah, he's been there 20 years.
Yeah,
Right.
that's fine.
Yep.
I need a motion. Go ahead, go for
Is
it.
it just so moved, or can I say so moved at this point?
You're looking for a full certificate of compliance for 53 Southeast Main.
So moved.
There you go.
Do I have a second?
Second.
First made by Kate, second by Michael. Mike, sorry. For certificate of compliance for DP 143-573, Adam Furno, 53 South East Main Street, map 214, lot 33. Roll call.
Kate Thompson, I.
Mike Greco, aye.
Josiah Birch, aye.
Jim Farr and I.
Oh, stop share.
Here you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome. right, let's see. Grant opportunity, so for other business, we have grant opportunities for Town of Douglas Conservation Committee.
Yeah, I think Mark wanted this back on the agenda because Kate found some opportunities for grants.
Yeah.
She wanted to talk about them.
I did, and I sent it around via email, so I'm not sure if it's possible to pull up, but if not, that's okay. I think the one grant that was of the most interest is the Mass Trails grant. Unfortunately, the one for the fiscal year 2025 is due today, so unless somebody has magical powers and can get that pulled
That's all
together
right,
today.
I mean, we can at least try for 26 then.
Exactly. I think that's what Mark was hoping to do. It was just at least to kind of get started thinking about what we might want to use that grant for and how to apply for it. He has never applied for a grant. I don't think that I have. So we just need to probably do a little bit more research unless somebody else here happens to be a grant writer.
Oh, it looks
Is that
like
a
we
thumbs
have Matt. That's awesome.
Is that an
We'll add that to his
excited
plate
thumbs
then.
up, or-
Grants are never the most fun.
No. But from my recollection, it's a reimbursement grant, so the town would have to
Spend.
pay, and then we would apply to get the money back. About 80% of the money, I believe, would be returned.
Okay.
So that's, again, something that we would probably need to discuss or bring up
For the
during the
next
planning
budget.
board.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
For the next budget.
And kind of which projects we would be most interested in and where the money would be best spent. But are there any questions about that specific grant that we'd want to look into more?
Yeah, we provide a 20% match.
So we cover 80 and then we get 20 back.
Right.
Is it,
You only
is
get
it
20
we're
back?
80? Or
is it-
they're 80?
I
They
thought,
would cover 80% of the cost. We
Yeah.
provide a minimum of 20% of the total project cost.
Oh, okay.
okay. And this is for signage, just for,
This is for a lot of different opportunities, like for trail maintenance and such. Let me see, I have it up on my phone if that's okay. If I can-
like flagging of trails and stuff like that?
I think it might be able to be used for that. Said the award maximum depends on the project type and needs and is generally 100K for recreational trails projects and up to
100,000?
and up to 500K for shared use path projects demonstrating critical network connections of regional or statewide significance. So I mean, we have this SNET, the Southern New England Trunk Line Trail. and-
Yeah.
That might qualify for like 500K
Yeah.
if it wasn't already built up.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all the Wayfindings, but if we were trying to connect a
Exactly.
SNET to another with a trail, that would help
Yeah.
create something like that, but ours are already done. So we're looking at like the 100K.
Yep.
Recreational trails eligible grants include development, design, engineering, permitting, construction, maintenance, and the amenities that support trails.
Yeah.
That's where you might get your signs.
Yeah.
So
And before we get into anything else, I would probably just need to check with my work because I know that the company does do certain grant-related activities, so I don't want to get myself or the company in any sort of conflict of interest, but, and I think that they've worked on SNET before, so I don't want to speak too much to that, but I think just doing the basic research of what grants exist is probably okay.
Nice.
Yes, definitely. Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course. There were a few other grants on the list. The Mass Trails grant is the one that Mark thought was the most beneficial or the most opportunity for us. But I also included some that the planning board might be interested in taking a look at. Not that that has anything to do with this meeting, but
No, that's
just
right.
as a heads up, there are a few options there that might help out with the master plan and such.
Yeah.
I've done a Massachusetts Downtown Initiative grant before. I mean, it was like it's like a full-on study of what you have, what you can do, what you should do. I mean, it was real helpful. I think we had Harriman Group or Steve Cecil Group before we became Harriman Group, did that project. It was like $25,000. It
was real helpful for the town of Auburn anyway. It's definitely one I could look into again. But yeah, definitely that one. MassWorks Infrastructure is, I need like a town engineer to put those together.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, but, oh, some good ones here, for sure.
That's good.
Definitely.
20K for Mass Trails grant.
And I'm not sure, sorry.
No, go for it.
I'm not sure if if the town would have to front the whole cost, or if we just need to provide, like, the whole cost of the project prior to applying for the grant, or prior to receiving the grant.
Yeah, looks like we do.
So that's kind of an obstacle, I'd imagine, as well, but, I mean,
Right.
even if,
Because you could get denied and then you spent the money.
exactly.
Yep.
Well, we wouldn't have spent it unless we got the grant. Right.
So are we able to have, to apply?
We can appropriate
Prior.
funds and then apply for the
Got
grant,
it.
saying that we have the funds appropriated for the
Got it.
project. But
Not actually.
what's the project? That's the question.
Exactly.
We're going to have it designed by an engineer who's going to be offsetting with costs. So that's what we need to know.
Yeah, like who would lay out like a trail plan?
I know the Open Space
like-
Committee just had someone
Yeah.
do theirs, so talk to
Is it
that.
Like the, I'm not sure what her name was when she was here last.
Becky Kelliger.
Becky?
Yep.
Yeah, so that 60 acres, is that planned out at all? I mean, is there
The Kevin,
a Keven property? Yeah.
Forget what they have done.
I mean, the 60-foot access or whatever, it's very narrow to get down there, but once you get down there, it's wide open. And you know,
So we could probably get with her too and find out who she used to
mean,
do the trails
there's
and like
no-
how much it costs.
there's no like trail to follow or anything. I just kind of like walked around, you know.
No, but if they just had one, paid for someone to,
Yeah,
like, map
it'd be
everything
nice
out.
for, that property's huge, you know? It'd be nice to have some sort of a trail plan, or, or
The other
something
thing-
cut. It's pretty thick, too, it's not,
I mean, we can check, but we can also, I know we don't have a ton of small businesses in town, but like for signage or whatever, if someone's willing to pay, for a sign, you know how they do adopt a highway and do adopt a sign?
yeah.
Well, you know what I
No,
mean?
it's
Like,
true.
so,
our other signs don't have that, though. They're like Mozinski, the Mozinski one over, it's near my,
Oh.
it's near my house. It's on
The Mumford?
Yeah. And, yeah, I really like, that one's laid out really well. I walk that trail, frequently, so.
So, I mean,
But I mean, the signage, though, it's dedicated to him, but not by, like a business, like.
well, no, I was just saying, like support.
funding.
Yeah, for funding to help, with stuff. I'm not talking about the necessarily like for a sign that you see, it was donated or whatever, but I'm talking like you could do, the signs on the
Like-
trails or whatever.
Funded by GBI.
Exactly. You know what I mean? And it's just to show more community
It's just an example.
involvement. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So,
So I will say that Ms. Gallagher had reached out to me about the Mass Trails grant, and she was seeking quotes to construct the parking lot on the Keven property as part of this grant.
Oh, there's no
Okay.
way.
So,
There's no way.
obviously, it's not going to get in now,
You maybe get like
but
one,
she got one quote in, she still needs two more, so the deadline's passed. So this is something we can,
I mean, I don't know where you,
them doing
yeah,
for future.
Sorry.
I mean, it's a good opportunity, right?
yes.
I mean, we can't both apply for the grant representing the town of Douglas, so one of us is kind of already taking the leads on it a little bit. So we can absolutely help her out with it and give her support.
there's not going to be much parking there.
Right, it has to go up like 400 feet away from the other parcel.
I'm just thinking on the road. Yeah, right, you could,
Yeah, it's like a 400-foot driveway before you
Yeah.
get to a parking area up
yeah,
above.
there's quite a few trees. just-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was
So
that
that-
the parking lot you mentioned last time?
Yep.
It was just a couple, like.
Yeah, it was like
right
2 or
at
3, it was real small.
You're lucky if you get two.
I wonder if there's an opportunity.
2 compacts.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
wonder
my
if there's an
truck just,
opportunity to add additional kind of features to that one park. That way it's still under the same, I don't know.
Thing is, you can only get one car up that thing at a time. You can't get them going.
We can just
Exactly.
get lights.
get some lights in there, there you go.
There was a bridge in Grafton, I think it was, had a light on each side, so when a car pulled up, because it was only enough for one car to go over the bridge.
Right?
Yeah, see those in Western Mass. Yeah.
So, we could do one of those. But all right, so we can find out from her. Okay.
So that'd be like site plan design from an engineer, has to go through site plan review with the planning board, get all that done, and then the construction thereof. Would that add up to 100K? You know, possibly.
Easily,
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
possibly.
at the prices of everything today.
Yep. The 440-foot driveway alone. I mean, probably not top course or anything, probably just a gravel drive. You gotta deal with the abutters on both sides too, so it
Yeah,
gets
they're
real-
not gonna
gets
like
real
that.
complicated. Yeah,
Yeah, just-
but if it
Sure
gets
they-
through site plan review, what if it doesn't? Then what? We're eating the cost for the engineering and the attending of the planning, and it doesn't get through. Yeah. We'll see.
you have to kind of get buy-in from the neighbors, I guess.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to table the budget request, decide on the amount for the annual town meeting for March 3rd, because Mark wanted to be here for that.
Slow today, that's all.
Sure.
We do have the MACC Annual Environmental Conference at Holy Cross. That is on here.
Okay.
Yeah, what is that?
It's like an educational opportunity with like, there's like a day where,
So is it all day?
I think so, yeah. It definitely starts early-ish in the morning, and I forget about how late it goes, but it's sometime in the mid-afternoon at least.
Is lunch included?
It might be.
So if lunch is included, you'll go?
I'm leaning that way.
Yeah.
So
The food's really good over there.
I would have loved.
My daughter applied at Holy Cross and, got the,
Oh,
yeah.
Expensive.
She didn't make it, though. She didn't make it. She didn't go there.
It's all right.
So we have balance left in the budget. We could have, maybe 3 commissioners could attend this event at Holy Cross. See who wants to go. Registration is up until February 26th. And
Do you have to register directly, or does the town? So the
no, I
town,
just need to know which 3 would be attending.
oh, well, I'd like to go.
What's the date on it?
It is,
March 1st?
Yeah, it's my first.
here's a calendar without the date.
I think it's March 1st, because it's a Saturday. I have plans that day, otherwise I would have been there in a heartbeat.
Yep, Saturday, March 1st.
From 1 to 1? I know all these technical questions.
It's from 8 to 4:30. Sounds like
Yeah.
Josiah's in.
Yes, I'm in.
Okay.
Need a lunch ticket,
I
too.
believe they also do that. I think Brandon might be elected as as like a vice president of this group or something at that meeting, so that'd be pretty exciting to see.
It'll be awesome.
Oh, is that right?
He's attending tonight to find out if that's going to happen.
Oh,
He's nominated to become the first vice president this year, so if anyone's going, you'd appreciate a vote.
Vote outside of attending.
oh,
I don't know.
Yeah, I need to check a couple of things.
So the people there are voting for, I don't know anybody else there.
Right?
Saturday, March 1st.
If my appointment on Saturday morning is moved for some reason, I will let you know and see if there's another spot, but
It's to register by February 26th.
sounds good.
You going, Jim?
I don't know. I have a couple of things, so I gotta.
Mike? You gonna go?
Lunch wasn't enticing enough.
You gonna go to the
Lunch isn't-
Holy Cross? No? No?
I did Girls on the Run with my daughter, though, for, at Holy Cross.
You
What's
did
that?
what run?
It was Girls on the Run.
What is that?
What's that?
So Girls on the Run, and it's, Douglas did it, they basically support each other, like, mainly for the girls, you know, to, like, cheer them on and, you know, make
Yeah.
new friends and stuff. And then they practice running around the tracks and stuff, and,
Oh.
yeah, and then
Awesome.
we ended up going to Holy Cross for that, and,
You didn't run from here, right?
but you guys have been to Holy Cross before?
Yes.
So it wasn't just around the track?
Oh, no.
The hills.
It was the hills. I thought I was gonna die. I mean, we made it. Her and I made it. I don't know how, but we did. But it was tough because the hills are like,
Yeah, oh, yeah.
they're not like a little slant going down.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was good. All right, I can let you know. I wrote down my notes though.
Okay. I'll also ask Brendan and Mark if they want to go, so.
Okay.
Once we get 3, I'll cap it at 3.
Okay.
Notice of intent.
For to convert chapter land,
Yes.
76 Oak Street.
So this is just an FYI for us. Nick Starrick, Lake Manchaug Camping, he's delivering an A&R to us to divide off a portion of the large parcel. In order to, usually with Chapter 61B property, the town gets first right of refusal unless it's conveyed to a family member, which is the case here.
This is
So it's-
going to the family member?
Right, so it's
Okay.
not subject to town's first right. So no action that we need to take.
Okay.
Just an
Would the town, you know, if this wasn't a family member, would the town?
Then we would be able to.
We can make a recommendation to the selectmen if
I see.
we want it or not.
Okay.
Can I ask what chapter land is?
Yeah, chapter is either agricultural or forestry.
Gotcha.
It's a tax classification.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, and then moving on to stormwater bylaws.
Yes, so the stormwater bylaw should be in our packet, I hope.
What number, or is it?
Is it not? Remember the name?
At the very end, I got a
In
copy.
the back?
No, it's in the back. You have one?
Yeah.
I do not.
I have it in like the back pocket.
I don't have one in the back pocket.
Maybe that's
One.
something else.
Oh, yeah, so actually, you know what? If you look under mail, the second page starts the stormwater bylaws.
Under mail?
Yeah, under mail, it's the
Yeah,
second page.
After mail, you have the memo, and then the next.
And then, yep,
You have a mail? I do not have a mail.
you don't have a mail
Memo?
tab?
I do not. Okay.
It's the next page.
Oh, okay, it's right after. Gotcha.
Yep.
All right. All right, so our stakeholder committee has produced this draft bylaw. Originally, last annual town meeting, we proposed a draft bylaw that had the Conservation Commission as the governing authority over this bylaw. It's now changed to the planning board per the committee that drafted this. They thought it was better fit to be handled by an elected board rather than an appointed board. Other than that, they thought we had a very full plate at the time and didn't want to take on an additional responsibility. I was like, makes sense. So this would be governed by the planning board. That's kind of really the big question here is, are we okay the planning board taking on this responsibility, I mean, it's kind of 50/50 throughout the Commonwealth, whether it's a Conservation Commission or a planning board. I mean, the planning board handles a lot of stormwater concerns already with their site plan reviews and their subdivision plans. So we're talking about the regulated area on that map right behind me.
Okay.
It's just those red areas in town. That's what this stormwater bylaw would cover. The one a year ago covered the entire town, and that's why it got voted off the town meeting floor, because the select board were like, that's way too much. So we got a letter from the EPA, and they said, you need a stormwater bylaw before the end of the fiscal year, or you're going to start facing some heavy fines.
Okay.
So we formed the stakeholder committee in September. They've been working on this draft bylaw right through the end of January, and they finally produced this product.
Okay.
So it only covers the red areas on this master tile map, the stormwater map, and those are the areas subject to this. And the criteria, the applicability, sorry, where are we? Applicability, where am I? It's applicable to all new development, redevelopment, the exemptions, anything that disturbs less than 1 acre. So this has to be an acre or more in those red areas, okay? There's not a lot of them, all right? The whole purpose of this was to meet the minimum requirement of the EPA, all right?
Okay.
Any normal maintenance improvement in land and agricultural use is defined in the wetlands protection, right? Conversion of land of agricultural use, crops and pasture uses, maintenance of existing landscape gardens, repair, replacement of roofs, because that's technically impervious surface.
Yep.
So that's, it's covered here. Construction of single-family dwelling, edit there, I need to correct. Single-family dwelling, where approval is not required, subdivision control, or with a notice of intent. So a notice of intent, that's still, it's within jurisdiction of Concom, they still have to handle their stormwater there. So this would then not apply. All
Okay.
right? So where there is an NOI needed, they will not need a stormwater permit as well. Forestry cutting plans,
So can I just?
Yeah.
I have a question. So like, you know how we have some things that didn't have a stormwater and needs to have a stormwater?
Mm-hmm.
So how does that affect, does that mean our hands get washed of it and it becomes DEP, or or the planning board's like, I'm just curious how that,
do you have a particular property in mind?
I did, but like, I'm just asking, like, how does that play into?
Yeah, so
Yes.
the DEP, I was thinking like the White Court A&R we just did.
Yep.
Right? They have 8 A&Rs on a public way, right? The ones that are going to have to comply with stormwater are just the ones that need notice of intent from the Conservation Commission. There's 6 of 8. The other ones just need to contain their stormwater on their property and not increase flow off their property per state statute. Other than that, our bylaw only covers those red areas. That's it. So
Okay.
White Court doesn't fall into that jurisdiction.
Okay,
But anything that's still within 100 foot of a wetland, we still govern.
okay,
And they still have to handle their stormwater per Mass DEP.
okay,
So,
all right.
that.
I just wanted to,
No, it's a good question.
We should be in charge of this, though. Not the planning board. Absolutely not.
I have mixed,
That's
I
the
have
whole
mixed
thing is-
opinions about
The
it.
whole thing about, for conservation is the protection of the wetland. And
Yeah, so anything that needs a notice of intent, they would not have to file the stormwater permit. The notice of intent would cover the stormwater protection of the Wetlands Protection Act.
we really should be in control of the stormwater.
And if you don't have an answer to this, that's totally fine, but what are some examples of projects maybe that would not fall under us, that would go straight to the planning board,
Like someone who's putting in a new driveway, or someone who's building an addition onto their house, or something that doesn't need planning board review or site plan review, but they're disturbing an acre of land and doing so, taking a whole bunch of trees down?
Yep.
It's a pretty narrow application here.
Yeah.
Like, there's not a whole lot that's going to come out of this.
So they're not-
I don't think.
Yeah, so it would be those types of projects that are not within wetland boundary.
Right,
You said if
Yeah.
if it's more than 1 acre,
yeah,
so like existing houses that have more than 1 acre.
yeah. Those exist as is, as long as they're freshly disturbing a new acre of land on their property.
Actually, there's a whole acre. Right?
Yeah, right,
Yeah, so like I'm on a .7,
yeah.
So-
You're good.
I'm good.
So
Yep.
would that mostly be like
But
company?
I'm still close by a wetland, hypothetically, so it would still have to come through us, correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like when I did my deck. Brandon had to, double check and make sure,
What's your question?
Oh, sorry, so it would be, I guess more than 1 acre would be obviously like larger properties, but also more likely to be corporation or some sort of new development in
That's
the
what this
area.
is primarily going after, large-scale commercial
Understood.
development.
So I have one quick question then. So I have 10 acres. I'm going to divide them up into 1 acre. What's that fall under?
You're going to A&R them into 1 acre parcels?
Well, I'm just going to do one at a time.
Yeah, so we did ask that question of our consultant as well. He's like, look, this bylaw is not intended to go after the person who's doing that. The bylaw is intended to go after large-scale developments.
Okay.
The person
But it
who
ends up
can-
being large-scale
Exactly.
development,
Right.
so that's my problem.
Right, but that person kind of gets away from the bylaw, right? They're clearing .99 acres annually. Or whatever, yeah. It'd take an agent to kind of catch them in the act, or someone to report it to us, for us to know.
Is there maybe like a stipulation where the planning board, if the planning board were to handle it, they would let us know? Oh, no, because they don't even need the
They don't need a,
anything,
No.
Right, unless it's within 100 feet of water.
right? Which is the current
Right.
way it is anyways.
Now, conservation still has control over illicit discharge per our general bylaws. So any like hazardous materials discharging into the public right away,
Oh.
anywhere in town, the commission still has control over that.
yeah.
So this is really just trying to govern the site plan stuff a little bit better.
So I guess my question is like, we don't generally, as a rule of thumb, have big corporations coming in,
Not yet.
right?
No.
Well, no, I know, but that's the,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so like for the town of Douglas, everyone wants to keep it
Exactly.
tiny and small and not let all the bigger people come in. So I was just curious.
Yeah. The whole point is right now, we're allowed to discharge stormwater into the Mumford and the Blackstone River watershed. If the EPA, if we don't put in a stormwater, the EPA could make us remove all of our infrastructure and create our own treatment plant.
Wow.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay.
so, yeah,
Sounds expensive.
yeah, a little bit.
And how is the stormwater areas determined? I mean, like I look, like on the map.
Yeah.
Just for example, on Mumford, the, like the Mazinski property, there's a river there,
Yep,
and that's not included.
the Mazinski property?
No.
Yeah, I mean, this is only towards the Blackstone River watershed. It's the town's infrastructure as it contributes to the river watershed. The Mazinski property is all private.
It's our conservation land now. I'm sorry, the Leon Mazinski property,
Up on Oak Street? Or up-
no, the Mumford Street property.
Right, but there's no town,
44 acres?
right, but there's no town infrastructure that contributes to that watershed.
No.
That's the whole point. This is controlling those little blue spots
Yeah.
are town infrastructure. And where the town infrastructure from roadway contributes to the watershed,
Oh, I
that's where it's
see.
triggered.
Okay, so it's,
Yep,
Well, I wouldn't be worried then, I guess, because I'm sure people would come if they know
Yeah.
that someone has 10 parcels and they're going to do one by one, right?
Yep.
And then we can step in if
Right.
need be,
yep,
right?
yep. So the commission still has control over illicit discharge, and that's townwide.
Okay,
That's a townwide bylaw through the general bylaws.
all right.
This wasn't approved at the town meeting at all?
No, originally, we just covered the whole town with this.
And it
Oh, I
was
see.
too
And
much.
they were like, no.
Yeah.
So the EPA gave us a regulated area map, and it was much larger than this. It covered like, it was just ballooned areas that just covered large sections of the watershed. So our consultant came and gave it, narrowed down using the contours and the elevations to shrink the area a lot more to make this more palatable at town meeting.
And you might have already said this, but are the places marked on that map only town-owned?
No, it's
lands?
private
It is-
property.
okay.
It's just the blue is public town infrastructure.
Got it.
Town catch
Thank
basins
you.
and stuff, yep. That's why you see the Woodland Road development off of South Street. There's all town infrastructure.
Mm-hmm.
That look, that's to the farm,
Yeah.
old farm road. Yeah.
All that infrastructure eventually makes its way into this watershed, which makes its way into
Yeah, that's where they have all the problems with the wells down
the
there.
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
So what's your thoughts?
I think we should still control this.
Is that up for discussion? Like, is that a
Yes, we can discuss
possibility
it.
still?
Yeah, I mean, it's the select board that's going to make the determination whether or not we recommend one way or the other. So,
Yeah, in the end, it's always selected. You know,
Did the selectmen select the board for this? Like, who?
yeah, the members of the stakeholder committee actually asked for a member of Concom, but we didn't have anyone to give to it. So it was made of planning, finance, zoning, selectmen, and
One other. Okay.
2 citizen at large.
Okay.
And the other one was supposed to be Concom, but we didn't have that.
yeah, we didn't have, I remember that meeting, I was a newbie at that time.
Yeah, we didn't have anyone who was able to commit to it. Same with the master plan committee. so.
Okay.
We have no representation.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you think we should keep it, but in hindsight, it's not going to really matter.
I think it does, because it's part of the, goes into the water supply. You know? So, just my opinion.
Yeah.
So anything that needs a notice of intent still has to come to us, no matter what.
Yeah.
They wouldn't need to double up and do the stormwater permit at the same time. They would just do the NOI, and that's it.
And then it comes to us anyways.
Yes. Yeah. It's really just the stormwater infrastructure stuff that goes into the roadway and eventually makes its way into the watershed.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Right. So those things might not be within our jurisdiction anyway, within the 100-foot buffer. That's
Yeah, because the only thing that's going to actually matter to us is if they're near wetlands.
Right.
Except for the stuff on Rydell Road.
Yeah, some of those.
No comment.
Okay.
But, yeah, so, I mean, we're still going to get the NOIs for them, so,
Yeah, there's a piece in here that says,
and this needs to be voted on tonight.
well, we can. I'd recommend, I hope we could.
Okay, that's fine. I'm just asking.
There's a line in here.
It does say that other boards and/or departments participate in the review process defined by the stormwater regulations adopted by the planning board.
Yeah, so once this bylaw passes, the planning board then has to pass their regulations, which then are
God.
govern the bylaw. It's the permit process, number of applications, copies and stuff. Yep. Applicability, there was Nothing in this bylaw, sorry, on page 2, nothing in this bylaw is intended to replace the requirements of the Town Douglas zoning bylaw, any other bylaw adopted by the Town of Douglas. Any activities subject to the provisions of the above cited bylaws must comply with specifications of each. I mean, we do have our wetlands bylaw that falls into that category, so.
I guess I'd be okay, because it's all still going to come to us if it's within the wetlands. I mean, you can say no, it's okay, we're just talking. I'm not upset, yeah.
No,
I understand
Yeah.
the hesitation. I think the only reason that I'm not more hesitant, I guess, is just because there's like town infrastructure, like the roadways and drainage systems and all that, that I don't know that we have any
Jurisdiction
jurisdiction
now.
over whatsoever. So like, I don't know that it would be productive for us to have, to hear any of that. Unless it, of course, is affecting the wetland areas, even if it is outside of the 100-foot buffer zone or whatever buffer zone is applicable.
And there's a lot of area here that's definitely outside of the buffer zones.
Yeah.
That goes into the stormwater infrastructure, which eventually makes its way into the waterway, but that's several hundred feet away. So there's a lot of land here that wouldn't be within our jurisdiction regardless. Like I'm looking at Gilboa Street up there and that big orange spot north of Gilboa Street is definitely not within our jurisdiction.
that's where the proposed, water line was going to go? Was it Gilboa?
North Street,
North Street,
North Street?
right.
yeah.
And there's a lot of that
And
on
that's
here too.
still,
But that really doesn't have, the only thing,
that did affect us because it goes,
There were two
Right.
goes into the
crossings.
month.
there's two crossings, so, but
Yeah,
Brandon
but the whole,
made the thing that they can't just do, like, as an example, all the telephone poles, they can't just, they have to complete one at a time instead of doing the first 50 altogether and then go back to part 2 and part 3.
Yeah.
But anyways,
but that water line's not being put in.
Yeah, that project didn't get funding from the grant, so.
Yeah. What was the reason? The state didn't approve it or
Yeah, we didn't get the grant.
did not get the? And that wouldn't be approved at town meeting to spend $5 million.
Yeah, no,
No way.
not before Highway Barn, yeah.
Yeah, I think that highway barn's coming,
Yeah,
no matter what,
yeah, I think so.
you know? But, so, well,
So you can kind of see there's some areas with some green on this map.
Yep.
I think some of the green might be a little closer to wetlands. Some of those, but most of the blue ones aren't. So the green ones seem to edge on rivers, if not, most of them anyway. So I can tell, you know, the greens are outfalls,
really hard for me to see on this.
and the blues are catch basins. Some of the outfalls are discharging directly onto open land, or if not, into a waterway, so
And
it
the
helps narrow it down a little bit.
green hatching looks like it is the wetland.
Yeah, the greens are wetlands, and the blues are bodies of water.
Got it.
Yeah.
I mean, we could further discuss this at the next meeting, or, you want to table it?
I don't know if we can talk about it now, but did Mark have any comments or did he have a chance to review?
He didn't say anything.
Okay.
So we didn't get any feedback.
I mean, I don't know, my theory is, like, the greens are still going to have to come by us if they're within the parameter.
If it's within 100 feet, they're still going to have to come for notice of intent, no matter
Right.
what.
So,
We don't lose any jurisdiction with this bylaw. There's additional permitting mechanism for the planning board.
And our next meeting is?
Not
on
till
the
March 3rd.
Same day as the planning board meeting? Is
No.
that right?
no.
Okay.
No.
My pen exploded on me. I'm not like contagious. Blew all over my.
I don't even know.
So what do you guys want to do? Someone,
I think we should have further discussion, or I'm going to vote. So,
Is it something, I feel like it would be something that Mark might want to think
All right, well.
about, but
we can table it.
yeah.
You want to table it to March 3rd then?
if it doesn't affect the planning boards,
Does it affect them?
like,
No?
moving forward, or we're not going to be threatened?
No,
to
it's the
have to-
select board that make the vote.
Yeah, the
And
selectmen-
they still have to hold a public hearing on it.
Okay.
Their next meeting in 2 weeks is not going to be the public hearing.
Okay.
It's going to be a
Okay.
joint meeting with the stakeholder committee, so they'll
Okay.
probably
Okay.
hold their public meeting after ours.
All right, so we'll table this till
Okay.
March 3rd.
Okay.
And then we can read, take it home, read through it, and,
Yeah.
go from there and look at the map, get a magnifying glass,
Yeah.
especially these eyes. All right,
All right.
and we don't need to make a motion for that, right? We can just
Nope.
table it, all right?
Yep.
And then we already did the orders to be signed. And I believe, is there any other topics or discussion anyone wants to bring up or talk about? Do I have a motion? Your favorite part. Come on, come on, you're always dying to say, make it. Go ahead.
No, I'm not going to do it.
You're not going to do it?
No.
I can't.
Yeah, no, you can't. All right, I make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second.
All right, I have a first by Josiah, a second by Mike. Roll call.
Kate Thompson, aye.
Mike Greco, aye.
Josiah Birch, aye.
Jim Foran, aye, and we're out.
Oh.